veteran number 18, Charlie Joyner. But there is also one of the swiftest wide receivers in all of football, number 83, Johnny Jefferson. And there is a brilliant young tight end, Kellen Winslow. For Danny White, more of the same, ably filling the shoes of Roger Staubach. He knows how to find the man who uncannily finds open spaces, Drew Pearson. And then, if he doesn't look for Drew, he will throw to the man for whom the action first begins when he receives the football. That would be Tony Hill. So the weapons are there. And for the Dallas Cowboys, if he's able to play in a flak jacket tonight, number 33, Tony Dorsett, is special. The Chargers against the Cowboys.
From Texas Stadium in Irving, Texas, ABC's NFL Special Sunday Night Edition. The San Diego Chargers against the Dallas Cowboys. This ABC Sports exclusive is
wild excitement here at Texas Stadium tonight. A packed house. The standings bespeak the importance of tonight's game. The NFC East. Philadelphia won today from Chicago in a toughie. Dallas must win tonight to stay but a game behind. And in the AFC West, the onrushing Oakland Raiders crushed the Seattle Seahawks. San Diego must win tonight to stay but a game ahead of the now Jim Plunkett-led Raiders. Hello again, everyone. It's very good to have you with us tonight because, frankly, while we expected the wild excitement of last Monday night between Pittsburgh and Oakland, we expect more of the same tonight and even maybe more excitement than a week ago. Why? Two tremendous teams. The Chargers with some of the best personnel in football and that dynamite passing attack. The Cowboys, brilliantly rebuilt within a single year by Tom Landry, the extraordinary coach. To tell you more about the man named Fouts and some of his thoughts on the Cowboys, who else but the Giffer.
Thank you, Coach. And we could talk all night about Dan Fouts. I'm sure we will be. Last week against the Giants, Dan Fouts passed for a quarter of a mile, and you can get very fatiguing doing that. He had 3 receivers with over 100 yards on receptions. And while Dan Fouts likes to pass, that's only a reflection of his coach, Don Coryell. The Dallas Cowboys, well, Tony Dorsett is questionable tonight. We don't know whether we'll see him or not, and Tom Landry would like to run to keep the ball away from the San Diego offense. However, last week against the Eagles in the 17-10 loss, the Cowboys had 46 yards on the ground. That's the second worst rushing record that the Cowboys have had in 21 years. Down on the field, our partner, Dandy One, is with his former mentor, head coach Tom Landry of the Dallas Cowboys. Take it away, Don.
Coach, it seems like old times. I'm asking questions, and you're supposed to have the answers. So I'll start off with what?
I wish I had the answer.
A lot of folks want to know about Tony Dorsett. He hasn't worked out this year. Do you think he'll play, or are you going to start him?
Well, he said he felt pretty good. We're not going to start him. Ron Springs will start. He's got a little soreness left, which is, I don't know whether I'm going to play him or not, Don. I'm going to have to wait and see.
Okay. The Coryell teams of the past have all been high-scoring. You shifted to defense this year. You played some good defensive games. Have you done anything different to try to flag all these guys down?
Well, we try to do a few things. I'm not going to tell you.
Oh, give me a clue. What are you going to do?
It's tough, I tell you.
You're not going to blitz.
You can't make any mistakes, Don. That's the main thing. If you make mistakes, you're going to get stung. And if we don't make too many mistakes, we might play pretty good defense.
All right, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Let's go back, Frank. We'll get this thing going. Thank you a lot. All right, Frank. Take it away.
All right, Don. He wouldn't tell you anything for 9 years. He wouldn't tell you anything tonight. We really, quite frankly, blame him. Tom Landry, of course, worried about the San Diego Chargers. He's worried about the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles winners today over the Chicago Bears. As we mentioned at the top of the show, these Dallas Cowboys must win tonight to stay 1 game behind the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, the San Diego Chargers, well, they beat the Giants a week ago, but 2 weeks ago they were thrashed by the Oakland Raiders. And the Oakland Raiders well, they'd move into a tie should the Chargers lose tonight. San Diego with a victory could remain a game ahead. And we are looking for an aerial carnival tonight. The receiving unit, as we can see, the Chargers dropping into position. Here is a much-traveled man, Chuck Muncie, a much-discussed man. He joined the San Diego Chargers a couple of weeks ago in a trade that was reported to have required only a number 2 draft pick. So there has to be some question as to why the New Orleans Saints released Muncie. There were many questions surrounding this man, but we do know that when he's right, he's playing, he's a great athlete. Set to kick off, Raphael Septien. The 2 deep men are Muncie 46 and Mike Fuller 42, and from Texas Stadium with 65,000 looking on, we're underway. Muncie will bring it out of the end zone. Muncie, 6'3", 233 pounds, roars out to the 42-yard line. Dexter Clinkscale made the stop for Dallas. Let's meet the offensive unit. Dan Fouts, he just comes out throwing. He sets up the run with the pass. And the setbacks we will see. Muncie starting tonight in place of Clarence Williams. His first start in the offensive set. The wide receivers, they are something special, both of them. The wide receivers over 100 yards a week ago against the Giants. Their tight end, Kellen Winslow, also had 100 yards against the Giants. On first down, Fouts to the air. We didn't think anything else. It's complete into Dallas Cowboy territory at the 49-yard line to John Jefferson. That's his 39th reception on the year. Dan Fouts looking over to pick up the plays that are called down by Joe Gibbs, the offensive coordinator. They are now flashed out to Fouts as we look at the defensive unit. A defensive unit that, quite frankly, was in a transition state early in the year. They have come together. They have 13 interceptions back there. Tom Landry devoting much of his training camp time to rebuilding the Cowboys defense that hurt a year ago. Second down, less than a yard to go. Hand off. John Cappelletti gets the first down easily, moving up close to the 45-yard line of the Cowboys, taken there by Charlie Waters. Charlie Waters, of course, coming off knee surgery of a year ago. He is the stability in that secondary for the Dallas Cowboys, number 41, because it has been in a tremendous change over the years. Steve Wilson, second-year man, is at one cornerback. Aaron Mitchell, 34, another second-year man at the other cornerback, and they will be tested tonight. First down, Winslow in motion. Fouts looking for Charlie Joyner, and he was there, incomplete. D.D. Lewis back there defensively, but Joyner was there. He was open. Fouts missed on the pass, and he doesn't do that often. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Well, as you have said, they use the pass to set up the pass. There's no fear in this team. This is an angry man, Dan Fouts, and he is also an exceptional quarterback. You mentioned Charlie Waters because the others are so young. They call them Charlie's Angels.
2nd down, 10. Fouts looking it over. Puts his backs into the pattern. Going out for Jefferson, and Jefferson in front of Aaron Mitchell. First down, San Diego, down inside the 30, close to the 28-yard line.
There is simply no way to cover John Jefferson one-on-one. Nobody in the league can do it. I think, too, you got an indication of what Muncie can mean to this team when he returned the opening kickoff the way he did. Coryell is delighted with him. He has not been a bad actor at all.
Single setback now is Cappelletti. That's the tight end. Winslow, the second-year man from Missouri, in motion. And here comes Cappelletti, right side. And Cappelletti taken there quickly by Mike Hagman. Gets a yard and a half. Down to about the 27-yard line.
All right, what did I miss?
Well, you haven't missed a lot, except Muncie had a fine return, opening return to the kickoff.
Yeah.
And quickly, Fouts started doing his thing.
All right.
Landry did his thing with you the way he did 20 years ago.
I know.
Don't make any mistakes, Meredith.
I was going to say, come on, Coach, you got to have something new by now.
2nd down and 8. The ball at the 27-yard line of the Dallas Cowboys. You saw a quick look at the enthusiastic Don Coryell, the Chargers coach. This is Muncie. And Muncie taken again by Hagman. Gain of maybe a yard. It'll be 3rd and long, 3rd and 7, as Mike Hagman, who was put on the spot a year ago when he replaced Hollywood Henderson, well, he has performed brilliantly for the Cowboys thus far. There was actually about a half a yard loss, so we'll call it 3rd down and 8. The ball at the 27-yard line, and in comes a special unit for the Dallas Cowboys. Their pass defense, if you will. They bring in Clinkscale, number 47. They bring in Dickerson, number 51. Benny Barnes, number 31. Mike Thomas, number 22, a good receiver, just activated last week, is in there for the Chargers. And behind Jefferson or rather John Floyd, the speedster, who had come in the 3 wide receiver deployment of the San Diego Chargers. And out comes Ralph Benershka. And what a story Ralph Benershka is.
A story which Frank will develop for you at halftime. Certainly one of the warm and beautiful human interest stories in American sport, or international sport.
Surgery on Crohn's disease a year ago. A year ago tonight, he was in the hospital. This attempt from 45 yards. He is 10 of 14 on the season. He's hit 3 times from 50 or more. A lot of distance and a whole lot of accuracy, and Benershka hits from 45 yards out of the Chargers quickly on the scoreboard. San Diego 3-0 over the Dallas Cowboys, and we'll be back. Himself in the middle of the field at the goal line, awaiting the kick of Ralph Benershka, who has just hit from 45 yards out. Benershka, as I said before, 10 of 14 on the season, a long of 53, but he has other kicks, 50 and 52. Remarkable young man. Benershka offside, hangs it high. Flag is down, indicating the offside, but this will be Jones. Jones almost gets to the outside, and he does amble out to the 35-yard line before Frank Duncan took him there. But again, a flag is down, indicating that the Chargers apparently were offside. And a fine return. You might suspect that it will be declined.
That's the Jimmy Jones from Mississippi State, a Gil Brandt discovery that we were so impressed with. Remember, Don, opening game in Washington?
I was trying to figure out where that guy came from, and evidently they find him most everywhere. He's got to be good with that time.
Offsides, kicking team on the kickoff, decline. First down.
Our referee tonight, Dick Jorgensen. He'll be talking to us, hopefully, infrequently. We almost wore out our RF a week ago with the Pittsburgh-Oakland game. Up comes Danny White, third of the National Football Conference, taking over under a lot of pressure this year and doing well. Of course, taking over from Roger Staubach. Quick reverse, Billy Joe Dupree. And Billy Joe lumbers out for a first down to the 46-yard line, taken there by Woody Lowe defensively. And let's meet the offensive unit of the Dallas Cowboys quickly. Danny White, you saw it, quarterback. Passing at 64%. Tony Dorsett is questionable tonight. He does have a flak jacket on. He has not worked all week. Sore ribs from the Philadelphia game. Your wide receivers, they're a pretty good set. Drew Pearson and Tony Hill. Of course, Tony Hill, number 80, when he catches the football, is basically a running back. Cowboys have their first down out of their own 46-yard line. Timmy Newsome now, a rookie from Winston-Salem, is in there, but this is Ron Springs. And Springs, a couple of yards up to the 48, and a flag is down at the tackle position as we look at the defense. Timmy Newsome, the setback for the Cowboys, number 30. And you see the call going against the San Diego Chargers, a face mask call. And already we are seeing what we anticipated, the teams moving back and forth, up and down the field. Here's our call.
Personal foul, 5-yard face mask foul, number 51, defense, first down.
Woody Lowe, the offending San Diego Charger, automatic first accompanying the call. The ball is now at the Chargers' 46-yard line. The setbacks, and they'll change all night for Dallas, now are 20 Ron Springs, a second-year man from Ohio State, and Robert Newhouse, number 44. Warm night, humid, 70 degrees. Showers expected. This is Newhouse, and Newhouse ran into Big Fred Dean, the defensive right end. Ball advanced up to the 43-yard line. A gain of a couple, it'll be second down and 8.
Frank, you mentioned Fred Dean. One of the great strengths of San Diego is their front four. Maybe the greatest strength of Dallas is its front four. Louis Kelcher, 74, is back in action tonight. He had been out briefly with an injury. You'll see him defense the run. He'll not be in on obvious passing plays. Wilbur Young will be in.
Second down and 8. Drew Pearson, Takva, your picture, and Danny White's going to put it in the air, and down goes Danny White. He's piled up. Fred Dean getting in there very quickly, along with Gary Johnson. Big Gary Johnson, they call him Big Hands, and he was pawing all over Danny White.
He's one of the front four, Howard, that you didn't have a chance to get to, but he leads the team in quarterback sacks. And you can see right there, man, he just looked like he broke out of a hole at the line of scrimmage. They tried to hold him, and he still got by.
Interestingly, he was a holdout. He didn't report till just before the third game of the season, but he's in shape.
Louis Kelcher, you saw big number 74, is also in the Chargers lineup tonight. He was hurt in the Oakland game 2 weeks ago. Hyperextension of the knee. He was also close to the sack. 3rd down and 16. Ball back at the 47-yard line of the Cowboys, and out of the shotgun is Danny White. Danny White, and his complete, beautiful catch by Butch Johnson.
Oh, what a catch.
He has the first down. It was a great catch. He was going to be hit. He was by Hal Stringert, but he gets the first down.
That Butch Johnson, you'll remember the extraordinary catch as we look at it again, Don, that he made in the Super Bowl game against Denver. He is a superb receiver. Sometimes it seems criminal that he has not played over Drew Pearson. That's a decision that Tom Landry has to make, and it's a problem that shows the quality of personnel in this Dallas team.
Of course, he's playing. When you want to bring in a third one, it's great to have a Johnson. Here comes Ron Springs, and Ron Springs inside the 30, down close to the 28-yard line. A game of about 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Bob Horn, number 55, the middle linebacker defensively for San Diego.
Ron Springs may be one of the best finds, as you're talking about, the Gil Brandt find that they've ever had in this organization. He just seemed like he showed up. Michigan State didn't play that football the last part of the year, was a baseballer. Came down here in training camp. They said this is the kind of guy, because he can play all of it. He's playing over in Dorsett's place tonight. Robert Newhouse is in there. He knows all the assignments. Bright young guy.
Ron Springs out of Ohio State. Change of setbacks. Danny White, play action. Look out. And find a receiver. Dumps it off. Billy Joe Dupree down to the 25-yard line. Short of the first down by a couple. Upended by defensive back down there, number 28. And it was Fred Dean pressuring Danny White out of the pocket.
White is smart. And the smarts that he has, the perception he has enabled him to grow with enormous rapidity this year. Beginning the season under terrible pressure. As the success of the Staubach, he has responded with increasing maturity. The last play and evidence of it.
Pearson and Tony Hill split out to the left. 3rd down. Preston Pearson in the lineup now. A good receiver for the Cowboys, but White goes downfield. And no flags go down as Drew Pearson got all tangled up there with defender Mike Fuller. So it'll be 4th down, and that should produce the field goal unit for the Cowboys, principally Raphael Seption. Seption is 6 of 8 of the year. And his long, thus far this year, is 38 yards. Bernushka, in case you have joined us late, on the Chargers' first possession. Hit from 45 yards out. The Chargers now on top 3-0. This will be a 43-yard attempt. Raphael Seption. Charlie Waters holding. Good snap. The ball upright and hooks it off to the left. So the Chargers will have possession, and they'll have possession at their own 25-yard line. Raphael Seption missing from 43 yards out of the Chargers. Stay on top 3-0, 8:12 remaining in the first quarter. Texas Stadium is sold out. Television, of course, lifted here in the Dallas area. The Dallas Cowboys, 1 game behind. If they can win tonight, the Philadelphia Eagles. They were defeated by the Philadelphia Eagles, Dick Vermeil's troops, a week ago, 17-10. The Chargers need a victory to stay a game ahead of Oakland. On 1st down, San Diego in possession at their own 25-yard line. Chuck Muncie will throw the ball wide open. Downfield is Williams, and a flag is down.
Well, they had him, didn't they?
Yep, this is the value you can get out of Chuck Muncie. He threw one like that in the Pro Bowl game, where he was the MVP of the game. They got themselves a beauty in Muncie.
He was a package last year in New Orleans. 1,198 yards rushing. He had 40 receptions. There he is. Obviously, there were problems, disagreements in New Orleans, because you never let a Chuck Muncie go if you have one.
Holding, number 41, defense, 1st down.
Charlie Waters did the only thing he could do back there, as flying by him was Clarence Williams, and had Muncie been on target, there would have been 6
You know, he probably said, oops. Oops is not a good word. I don't care. You know, you think about it. Whoops.
Whoops.
The best thing you do is grab him.
1st and 10 now at the 30 following the holding call. Williams in motion. Fouts to the air. Fouts laying it up, and I'll tell you, we have seen Jefferson catch those kind of footballs. He is a tremendous leaper at 6'1" and 198, but that one's slightly overthrown. It'll be 2nd and 10.
He laid that up beautifully. He had another man he could have thrown to, Charlie Joyner, number 18, who was even further downfield. This is a tough team to defense.
It really is. Aaron Mitchell was out to the outside. I think maybe it's a pretty good defensive play by Mitchell. When he saw the ball in the air, he fell off of his receiver, came back in. He was actually closer to the receiver. That was the strong safety.
Fouts on 2nd and 10. Dan Fouts, he set an NFL yardage record last year of 4,082 yards. Looking over the Dallas defense, inside handoff, Clarence Williams. He battles forward for about 3 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 7. The ball out at the 33-yard line. Fouts also has passed 14 times for 300 or more yards. He did it 6 times a year ago. He lost 3 of the games, I might add.
Of course, Landry is very familiar with Coryell. What a rivalry they had when Coryell was coaching at St. Louis. Landry holds a 6'4" edge, but they've split the last 8 games.
Mike Thomas, former Washington Redskin, activated a week ago, wears 22 for the Chargers. Good receiver. He's in there on 3rd and 7. Fouts fires a timing pass to John Jefferson. He'll be close to a 1st down.
I think that was just right on the money. Now, that's another thing we've talked about a lot is now the receiver must know what that distance requirement is. And you saw Jefferson make just the right cut. The ball really was thrown with good timing, wasn't it?
And he picks up the 1st down at the 41-yard line. John Jefferson, 2,000-yard seasons. Only 2 other players in the history of pro football have done that. You helped Bob Hayes do it, Don, and of course Bill Groman with the Houston Oilers did it in 60-61. If he gets 1,000 yards this year, he'll be the only man ever to do it. 1st and 10. This is Muncie.
Good tackle by Dede.
And Muncie, like all great backs, gets a lot more yardage than he appears to get. Gets inside just over the 45-yard line for a gain of 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6, taken there by Dede Lewis, number 50. You played with him, Don. He really is a highly underrated player. He's a very heads-up player.
He knows the defenses so well, and he gets himself in a good position, and that's the whole key to what Tom tries to do. They get the guys in the position. As he said earlier, don't make any mistakes.
Mike Thomas in motion on 2nd down and 6. Quick toss, Muncie. Muncie bowling close to another 1st down. This will depend upon where they mark it. Using that 230 pounds and all the acceleration that he can generate.
Interesting to see this, though. Coryell has stated through the years, give me running backs. I'll play a running game. I'll keep to my passing attack, but I'm not afraid to use a running game if I've got the guy who can execute.
I think that's true, but I think he still would much rather throw. He just likes to throw that ball in the air. I think that's his philosophy.
He has never done anything but throw.
He loves to throw.
You've got a guy like Muncie.
You're right. You keep those guys around.
There's another quarterback who's having a great year. Played under him.
You bet.
Brian Sight for Cleveland. 3rd and short. Capoletti. Capoletti, again, this will depend upon where they mark it. Mike Hagman clinched it, but Cowboys were swarming. They tried to go right over Harvey Martin and Randy White over the right side.
That's a pretty tough side to run over when you need even inches.
They do, of course, probably will go there a lot. However, Russ Washington on their right side is missing. He's out for the season. They have a youngster in there, Dan Audick, working against Ed Jones. The Chargers, of course, lost Russ Washington in the Oakland game a couple of weeks ago, and they will be short of the 1st down by about a foot. Chargers with the 3-0 lead. 6:04 remaining in the 1st quarter. Send out the punting unit. Means Rick Partridge with a 42.6 average. Partridge was a teammate of Chuck Muncie's a year ago with New Orleans. Dropping deep, James Jones, the rookie that we spoke of already from Mississippi State. Partridge gets a bad drop. It does not turn over. This is Jones from his 17-yard line. And Jones gets back out to the 18-yard line. Hustling down there was linebacker Cliff Thrift for the San Diego Chargers. So the Cowboys will have possession at their own 18-yard line. They're down by 3. We'll be back. Frank Gifford with Howard Cosell and Don Meredith. And Don, you never played in the stadium.
No, sir. I somehow dodged that silver bullet. I left all my stuff out there at the Cotton Bowl.
They didn't finish the top of it.
I know. I'm tired of talking about that thing. They're not going to ever put a top on this thing. They're going to leave it like it is.
They let the balloons out up there with that.
You know, they really did. They did a lot of things. Number one, when they came out here, they don't have to air condition this thing now. They must have known we had an energy crunch coming. This thing is air conditioned all the time.
Cowboys trailing 3-0. First and 10, the ball near their own 18-yard line. Danny White brings them up. Springs and Newhouse. Springs 20, Newhouse 44. Those are your setbacks. White quickly pattern to Tony Hill. Tony Hill tips out of bounds up close to the 25-yard line for a gain of 7. It'll be 2nd down and 3. Mike Williams was giving Tony Hill a lot of area.
Smart move. He can sure eat it up in a hurry.
At the same time, you got to be careful of Mike Williams.
Yeah.
Unnoticed last year, he became one of the most effective defensive backs in the league.
Quick look at Tom Landry, getting help from Danny Reeves up in the press box, sending the plays in to Danny White. Inside handoff, Robert Newhouse gets out over the 25, close to the 27-yard line, short of the first down. It'll be 3rd and about 2.
You would think that the Cowboys would be able to run against San Diego. Frank, you were there 12th in the league against the run, and they didn't run that well last week against Philadelphia. So you have to think that with Dorsett out, maybe that's going to be an equalizer. But I think that the Cowboys expected to be able to move the ball. They would love to just eat up that clock as much as they can for some obvious reasons.
Still 5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. And on 3rd and a long 2, White puts it in the air, fires intended for his receiver, Drew Pearson, incomplete. It'll be 4th down, and we'll see the punting unit, and San Diego will get possession again.
That looked like just another series of downs, but it was really more than that. It's important for Dallas to be able to begin to move the football, and they didn't prove they could do it then.
I think you're right.
Danny White with a 40.4 average. Tom Landry would rather that Danny White was not doing the kicking as we look at Mike Fuller for the Chargers, but he's the best he's got.
Fuller is a little guy, but he's a darter, as you know. Frank, he lost his job in the defensive secondary. Shaw outplayed him.
Hey, he's been returning punts for 5 years and has almost a 12-yard average on a return, and a beautiful kick by White. Fair catch called for. He had to call it. Did Mike Fuller at his 34-yard line, hustling down there. One of the outstanding young rookies for the Dallas Cowboys, Anthony Dickinson, who played his collegiate football, or some of it, here at SMU, right here in Dallas. Timeout, and we'll be back with 4:49 remaining in the first quarter. Texas Stadium, Irving, Texas, the Chargers on top of the Cowboys. Chargers with a 1st and 10, the ball at their own 34-yard line, and Dan Fouts, the Red Baron, if you will, brings his aerial circus up to the line of scrimmage.
I like it.
1st and 10. Don Capoletti in motion. Fouts dumps it off to Muncie, and Muncie attracts a crowd. And if he was touched while he was down, it'll go back. We saw nothing but a flag, though.
Nobody's blown a whistle either.
Dennis Thurman is trying to take Muncie, which he does, down around the 7-yard line. A flag is down where Muncie was down.
This is going to be an interesting call.
Yes.
It's coming back. Apparently.
Defensive captain Bob Bruning in there. Here's the call. Clipping against San Diego. So Chuck Muncie gave the Dallas Cowboy partisan fans a little bit of a thrill, and they'll bring it all back.
A little bit of a scare.
Watching him run, he was so fluid, man.
That's
he moved
right.
it down there. He does have that speed.
Dennis Thurman.
They start him early here.
Dennis Thurman tunneled him very well.
Yes, he did. Thurman is a good football player. Not very big, but
before that play done, this is interesting. San Diego has used 6 pass
Personal
plays.
foul, clipping, offense, still first down.
7 rush plays. So Coryell has changed his pattern for the moment.
Chuck Muncie, runner-up for the Heisman Award at the University of California. Had over 1,400 yards there as a senior. Obviously a #1 draft pick. Went to New Orleans in '76. Came to the Chargers a little over 2 weeks ago. The down remains the same. First down. This is Muncie again. And Muncie gets away from Dickerson and just runs over Clinkscale out to the 35 to 37-yard line. And he gets a bunch of it back, about 15. It'll be second down and about 8.
They're doing a real number on Ed Jones at the defensive end. It's a technique that the Cowboys anyway refer to as an influence block. They don't really hit him that hard. They try to let him, his weight and his momentum, carry him to the inside. Muncie dips to the outside, and Ed's been reaching for thin air for the last 3 times so far tonight.
Interestingly, Audick is the man against Jones tonight, and Frank mentioned that might be an edge for Dallas.
78 for Dallas is John Dutton defensively.
Whoa,
It's complete. Charlie Joyner. And Joyner taken by Aaron Mitchell, but not until he has the first down, up close to the 48-yard line.
Well, by this time, fans around the National Football League know about that man, Charlie Joyner, out of Grambling College, originally drafted by Houston when Klosterman was with Houston, traded to Cincinnati. They traded him to San Diego in one of the best deals San Diego ever made. He has a way of finding the open spaces, and he has a way of responding to injury.
Oh, did we see that last year?
Exactly.
On 1st and 10 for the Chargers. Fouts has the troops moving. Jefferson.
Throw.
And I'll tell you, he looked off of Charlie Joyner, saw out of the corner of his eye Jefferson, pops him for a first down, and this is one great passing quarterback.
That's one of the toughest ones to throw to. You're talking about a 20-yard sideline, and you're right. His little play-action pass in the middle, Frank. He sent the 2 guys down deep on a deep sideline. Look at the ball. Not a ripple in it. Just right on the money. Good catch by Jefferson.
Well, you have to have power in the arm to throw that kind of pass.
Up to the line of scrimmage. The line of scrimmage, the 35-yard line of the Dallas Cowboys. 1st and 10, the Chargers.
Whoops.
Fouts forgot to give it to one of his troops, and hustling in there was Big Ed Jones, and Fouts very wisely found a hole back at the 41.
Another big oops. I think Fouts turned the wrong way.
Yep, busted play.
Yeah, he made the wrong move that time. You see, if he'd have turned the other way, spun out the other way, it would either been a fake. I guess that was a run-off tackle. Dan says, wait a minute.
What a frightening thing it is to see Jones there with you.
Yes, you say, what did I do wrong?
Ed Jones, 6'9", 260-pounder.
You meet him a couple times, don't you? Start brushing up on your plays. You understand? Get those assignments down.
Mike Thomas, number 22 in there, offensively for San Diego. Good receiver. Second down, 16. And picked off. It's Steve Wilson. Tipped right in front of wide receiver John Floyd. Collected the ball, and Steve Wilson on his 3rd interception of the year gets all the way inside of San Diego's 35-yard line.
Now that's the break that the Cowboys needed and were looking for.
He's trying to come back to the well again. He waited a little bit too long to throw this one. This is John Floyd, number 86. Didn't run a bad route. Maybe could have broken off a little bit, but Steve Wilson had the great position, inside position, played the ball real well. I think, if anything, Dan's vision could have been impaired by a fairly good rush that time. They didn't.
Steve Wilson, Don, has been a great shock. He was a wide receiver, a kickoff return man a year ago. Benny Barnes got hurt at that position. They moved him in there. He's been a starter ever since the beginning of the season. 3rd interception of the year, and the Cowboys 14th. That eclipses all their interceptions of the season just passed. On 1st and 10, White to the air. Dumps it off, Billy Joe Dupree. And Billy Joe stays on his feet, the big man, to the 21-yard line. First down, Dallas. Hey!
Terrific pattern. They sent the 2 wide receivers deep. Here's a ground level look. A little play action pass to the outside. Fake the springs. Got good protection. Look at that offensive line work. Billy Joe delayed, came across the middle. Nobody there to pick him up. That's a big old boy, isn't he?
6'4", 230-pounder. Hey, Mr. Clutch Man. He doesn't catch that many footballs, but he scores a lot when he does catch it.
They've got 3 good tight ends. Saldi and Cosby both are good.
Ball inside the 21-yard line of the Chargers. The Cowboys down 3-0. Ron Springs, right side.
Look out.
Springs got a terrific block from Rafferty, and it springs him down to the 1-yard line. And a flag is down. Whether it's dropped, we do not know, but a flag is down at the 2-yard line.
Frank, what a terrific job of acceleration, too. He did get a good block, but you'll see, I'm sure, where he really let that block happen, and then he just a quick little burst of speed and shot right through the hole.
That's the thing that makes a great back, as you know, the ability to...
That's face mask called against Dallas. That's a strange
I don't
call.
understand that.
Well,
I was about to say the ability to explode through that hole, where an ordinary back will only get 6 yards. A back like Springs can pick up 12, 14.
need that kind of shifting gears.
Personal foul, 5-yard face mask foul on the offense. The ball carrier had the face mask of the tackler. Offense, it's a first down.
Interesting call.
I don't think I've heard that one before.
No, I haven't either.
All right, Ron.
First down stays. And the penalty is marked off, putting the ball inside the 8-yard line. It'll be first down and goal. Cowboys come up with running backs 44 Newhouse, 23 James Jones, the rookie from Mississippi State. Wide receivers. Pearson, Hill, top of your screen. The motion man is Jones. There was a charger, jumped off sides. Here comes Newhouse. Inside the 5, close to the 3. Wilbur Young, I believe, was the San Diego Charger that was trying to anticipate the count.
They'll take that penalty.
Oh, yeah.
Pick up a down. Here comes the tight end situation. Jay Salty is the backup tight end, starting number 87, and he made I think, a very astute comment. He says, I can catch that ball. He says, well, people don't realize I've been catching from Danny White for the last 3 years. And we run the other people's calls. Here's the face mask call we had. He says, get away from me.
It's a fair call. Good call.
Cowboys did accept the penalty. The down remains the same. The ball at the 4-yard line. First down, goal to go. 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Chargers temporarily on top 3-0. Springs and Newhouse, the setbacks for the Cowboys. Ron Springs. Touchdown, Dallas, and they move out front. Ron Springs, a second-year man from Ohio State, who turned the corner and got the first and goal. Very good athlete. He does a lot of things, as Don mentioned earlier. Good baseball player. They got him fairly cheap in the draft, in the 5th round, because he was hurt as a senior. Let's watch him again.
Good block over here on the left side. You see, that was Doug Cosby, number 84. Here's Rafferty out in front, 64. They had that one blocked so well. That was Dan Horn, the middle linebacker, who was out on the outside, didn't close quick enough to make the tackle.
Ron Springs ought to give Tom Rafferty half his game ball. Rafferty with a key block on the long run, and here's Septian. And the Cowboys take a 7-3 lead. 1:58 remaining in the first quarter. And that score won't stay there for very long. We'll be back at Texas Stadium in a moment. Second-year man Steve Wilson got it all started with an interception back at his own 30-yard line. Ron Springs did the bulk of the work as the Cowboys go in to take the lead 7-3 over San Diego. Septian hits it. Angling towards Mike Fuller, and Mike Fuller takes it at the 6. And Mike Fuller feels the pressure of the Cowboys special team at the 18-yard line.
What you most have to respect about the Cowboys, it seems to me, Frank, is the way they've been rebuilt under the leadership of Landry and Gilbrandt. They've got 6 rookies on this club. The 2 players who figured in the last turnabout that gave Dallas the lead, Steve Wilson and Ron Springs, are second-year men, one a free agent. And yet they rebuild the team with youth and at the same time sustain their continuing excellence of all the recent years. That's organization.
Cappelletti in motion on 1st and 10. Fouts to the air, man wide open, Jefferson. And Jefferson looks for the sideline, saw he had running room, and moves out over the 35, close to the 37. Aaron Mitchell fouling up his coverage back there defensively with Charlie Waters. And Charlie Waters, the veteran back there, now talking to them and trying to explain what went wrong.
Well, you have to give instant credit to Fouts. He comes back unafraid after the last interception.
Oh, yeah, he's not going to be afraid. That was really a rather ingenious pass pattern.
Tell you, 2 weeks ago against Oakland, he was sacked 7 times, came back again and again. He threw for 388 yards in a losing cause there. Capiletti in motion. Draw play, Muncy. And Muncy surges up to the 43-yard line. A gain of about 6. It'll be 2nd and 4. John Dutton is in there defensively for the Cowboys. Big number 78, you remember, came from Baltimore a year ago for first and second round draft picks. There he is.
Interesting the way they're using Dutton now. He's sharing time about half and half with Larry Cole. He's now catching on to this Cowboys system. Took him a while.
Three-time Pro Bowler with Baltimore. Management problems. They couldn't sign him. He was signed just before the trading deadline ended a year ago. 2nd and 4. That is down. Jefferson would have taken it for a first.
Boy, he would have taken it for at least a first. He had only Bob Brunig, and Bob Brunig certainly couldn't match him in speed, and Jefferson even had a few steps on Brunig. You'll see it. Brunig number 53. Fouts comes back. Who knocked the ball down? Was it White? I mean, too tall. Look at too tall. Blap.
6'9" he is.
And there you saw right there at the bottom, that's Jefferson running in front of Brunig.
He can knock it down when he comes out to be introduced.
If he only could have hit the opponent in the ring that way.
Hey, what, this year in boxing, he really got him in good shape. Everybody talks about what great shape he's in.
Maybe that's why he did it. 3rd and 4. And Fouts tried to slide it in between 2 defenders to John Floyd, incomplete, and the crowd likes it. San Diego will have to turn it over.
You know what I think may have happened then, too, is, again, Jones was in front of him, and Fouts threw that ball a little bit high. He didn't hit it.
That's right.
But he got his attention the play before.
He forced a change in trajectory. There's no question about it. He's 7 feet and a half inches tall suddenly when he leaps up.
6'32". Rick Partridge will punt for San Diego. James Jones.
Rick Partridge was a high school All-American quarterback out in Tustin, California.
Well, he sure drops it funny. Jones has it at the 17. Jones does a pirouette and goes down at the 15. Booker Russell was hustling down there for San Diego.
Yeah, that was his dance partner, Booker Russell. That was a pirouette. He says, you go this way. 1 and a 1, 2, 3.
Take a look at it. It really is funny, Don, the way he drops it.
Yeah. Let's see.
He drops it with the end almost, or sideways just about.
Well, I'll be doggone. He sure does. He hit his foot, though, didn't
It sure did, and it was a brilliant kick.
He's 4th in the AFC, so we can't fault the distance.
Tremendous hang time.
That Frank has a heck of an eye for detail, doesn't he? You see that?
That's because he once tried to kick.
Glad you said tried. 1st and 10. Cowboys at their 17. They lead 7-3. White making the play and comes back and delivers it there to the rookie, Timmy Newsome.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Timmy Newsome, a 6th-round draft pick out of Winston-Salem State. Another one of your Gil Brandts.
Absolutely. That play has been in the playbook since day one, 1960. And it is, and a lot of other teams, of course, run it too, but it's that fake to the inside.
Little bootleg.
The guy you fake to, he goes on out. Comes back to the other guy on the inside. Quarterback rolls out. I'll swear it's a hard pattern to cover. That linebacker's got to think very quickly. He's going to get caught up in the middle.
Timmy is 6'1", 227 pounds, a rookie from Winston-Salem. He led that Central Intercollegiate Athletic Association in scoring and rushing for the last 3 years. He gets the first down out at the 33-yard line, Timmy Newsome. And this is Ron Springs. Springs cuts in behind the block of Herbert Scott. Ambles for 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6, taken there by Pete Shaw, the strong safety for San Diego.
Well, he didn't really amble, Frank. He forced that 4, and that's the kind of runner he is. Had that brief hole, busted in, bored in on the tacklers.
Yeah, but amble sounds nice.
Amble.
Well, yes. Put an R in front of it, it sounds even better.
Let's hear it.
Ramble.
Hey. We'll try and correct it.
I bet you guys do crossword puzzles.
Cowboys may not get this playoff before time expires here in the 1st quarter. They do. Jones over the left side, and Jones up close to the 41-yard line before he is pushed back. And it'll be 3rd down and 2. The quarter has expired, and the Cowboys lead is 7-3. And when we come back, the Cowboys will have a 3rd and 2. The ball at their own 41-yard line. The Dallas Cowboys have a 7-3 lead over the San Diego Chargers. The Cowboys trying to stay within 1 game of the Philadelphia Eagles in the Eastern Division of the NFC. San Diego trying to stay 1 game atop the charging Oakland Raiders in the Western Division of the AFC. The Raiders now with consecutive wins. They defeated Seattle today. They beat Pittsburgh a week ago, and they beat San Diego the week before that. 3rd down, a long yard for the Cowboys at their 41-yard line. This is Timmy Newsome, and Newsome close to the 1st down after the 43-yard line. Ray Preston will be at the bottom of that pile along with Charlie DeJournay.
There's the Cowboy Hall of Fame. Chuck Howley.
There you go.
Number 17.
There you go.
Don Meredith.
Jeff and Hazel's baby.
Bob Lilly, the incomparable.
From Throckmorton, Texas.
Yeah, Don Perkins.
Boy, he was tough, wasn't he, Don?
Oh, yeah. All those guys are tough guys up there. What can I tell you? Really tough. No. Yeah, Bob was one of those really exceptionally gifted athletes. Chuck Howley is a good one. Perkins.
Chuck Howley was the MVP in a losing cause in the 71 Super Bowl.
It's the only time that's happened, isn't it?
Yep, when Baltimore beat him. So there are the stats for the 1st quarter. Pretty even. San Diego with an edge in possession time, but Landry said we must avoid mistakes. And he forced a San Diego mistake, the intercept on Fouts by Steve Wilson, the key point in the 1st quarter.
Mike Fuller, sporting almost an 11-yard return average thus far in the season, is awaiting Danny White's punt. Danny White, he's going to pick up the 1st down easily.
I love it. Now, he did that on his own.
Danny White inside the 40 to the 39, and you always do that on your own.
Oh, I love it. I swear to you, I started to say, nobody will ever ask me to coach, but if in a situation, you got to have a running play when you only got a foot to go.
Well, he did
from a punt formation. Look at it. The teammate, they don't know he's running except Brunig. He looks back and sees him. But then he did that once last year, and it backfired on him. He's done it several times down here.
He also will throw from that position.
Right.
Well, you love to see it happen, and what it does is another big turning point for Dallas.
Go for it.
Danny White catching his breath. We suspect we'll see a handoff, although he does not call the plays.
That's right.
He's getting pumped up again, they'll say, and they'll send in a running play. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line of the Chargers. Ron Springs. Springs running into trouble in the form of Woody Lowe. Falls forward for about a yard and a half. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
Roger must be enjoying this. Staubach and his wife are just 2 booths down, and he's here on a busman's holiday.
We're not on one. We'll be chartering to New York tonight immediately after this game. We'll be there for the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets, and the Dolphins give a new life in that Eastern Division of the AFC. New England getting knocked off today. Ron Springs, single setback, 2nd down 9. White is back. White drops a football.
Good
and
move.
the Cowboy gets in there and takes it, Pat Donovan.
Big break.
Now, that was really being alert from Donovan.
Wilbur Young was all over Danny White, pulled the ball out, and Pat Donovan saved it for the Cowboys. Watch again.
I think this is when Danny might have liked to have been left-handed. He got back up, stepped back up, wanted to run there for a moment, saw a receiver, too late. There's Young, stripped him of the ball.
This is why Young is used on obvious pass plays. The man has become a superb pass rusher.
Really alert play by Donovan there. That's really being heads-up ball.
Loss of 3. It'll be 3rd down and 12. Ball at the 41-yard line of the Chargers. Dallas on top, 7-3. Danny White out of the shotgun. Danny White bobbles the ball and is picked up by Tom Rafferty.
I'm telling you, that offensive line.
I don't believe what
I don't either.
I never saw so many breaks. Yes, they're alert.
Charlie DeJournay was all over Danny White, knocked the ball loose once again, and Tom Rafferty came up with it.
This is something you really can't have happen to you. When you feel the pressure, you do one of 2 things. Either throw the ball or tuck it. This time, on the outside, DeJournay is the one that hits him, but you would think
And what a perfect bounce.
Yeah, Rafferty says, it's my time, Donovan. The offensive line, they love to, kibitz about anyway. They never get any. Nobody talks about us. They call them the Irish Connection +1. Those guys did a good job.
4th down and 6. Out comes Seption. Remember, Charlie Waters holds. He likes to play games back there, too. 52-yard attempt. Short there. Just about the extent of Seption's distance, and that time he was well short. And the Chargers will get field position. The ball will come out to the 35-yard line. A lot of offense here tonight. 2 offensive-minded football teams. We'll be back in a moment. In other words, the Chargers do rather well in the second quarter. They've outscored, period, most of their opponents.
Takes him a while to warm his arm up. About a quarter. Now let's get this thing going here, guys.
The 1st and 10, line of scrimmage. After the missed field goal, 35-yard line. Here comes Muncie. And Muncie hammers his way out close to the 40-yard line for a gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5. D.D. Lewis went low against the 230-pound Muncie, and I don't blame him. D.D. only goes about 215 pounds.
I find the pattern of play of San Diego, the game plan for this game, very interesting. It's almost rule of thumb that you don't run against the flex defense
on 1st down.
And they're doing it again and again.
2nd and 5. The ball just inside the 40-yard line. Cappelletti in motion. Fouts quickly spots Jefferson over the middle. Jefferson has the 1st down. A flag is down, and Jefferson is up to the 47-yard line.
That was a slingshot.
Terrific reaction from Fouts. Yeah, just right there. That's called having that gun fired and it's cocked all the time. He can let it go quickly. There's a penalty. I didn't see that.
Once again against the Chargers.
Again, keep in mind tonight, Dan Fouts is filling in for an injured Russ Washington, the great all-pro right tackle for the San Diego Chargers, and Fouts' job to handle Ed Jones. Here's the call.
Holding, number 67, offense, still 2nd down.
Ed White, the right guard. Holding for San Diego. The ball goes back to the 30-yard line. Down remains the same. 2nd down, 15.
That you wouldn't expect from a veteran like White.
Fouts to the air again. And fires complete.
1st down.
Up at the 46-yard line is Charlie Joyner. Charlie Waters was right there with him. But these outside receivers are really something for San Diego. They run great patterns and different patterns.
Do you remember how Joyner kept getting up and coming back? They took him off the field in our final game of the last season against Denver and San Diego.
They had him in the locker room. He came back on. Jefferson was out of that game with a bad ankle. Joyner came back, caught a 32-yard touchdown pass. San Diego won the Western Division of the AFC. Tough man, Charlie Joyner. 1st and 10. Cappelletti. Flag is down. Cappelletti pulls his way inside the 45-yard line for a pickup of 9, but again a flag is down.
Now what?
Again, 1st down run right up the middle.
Penalties against San Diego have killed them.
Illegal motion. And that negates a 9-yard pickup.
The clipping on the long run by Muncie when he got down to the 6-yard line and Dennis Thurman submarined him. That was a key.
I think Coryell and
Illegal motion, number 67, offense, still 1st down.
Ed White with back-to-back penalties.
Well, it happens, Frank. Even you were called in your time.
Not from the guard position. 1st down, 15. Cowboys with the blitz on, and it bounded out of the hands of Joyner right into the arms of Jefferson.
That is, I'm afraid.
Joyner was smashed. He's lying on the surface of the Texas Stadium. The ball bounced right into the hands of Jefferson, and Joyner was really hit.
And you saw that first man there was Fouts. He is a quality kind of guy. I like Danny Fouts, and he knows this guy's hurt. He's going to go over there and check on him in a hurry. He really did take a lick.
Joyner, I believe, is saying I'm all right, but he was hit so hard I don't think they're going to let him up until they check everything out.
An extraordinary play, though. Look at it again, Don.
Well, again, You know, we were talking these two outside receivers with Joyner cutting across the middle. D. Lewis is holding in Muncie on the inside. He was just sprung up. That's Wilson coming in from the outside, and what a lick. Again, had to be in the right place at the right time. John Jefferson, hometown boy here. We talked about Jefferson earlier in his quest for his third 1,000-year.
Joyner's all right, too.
Wow.
Boy, that's a tough cookie. 12 years he's been doing that. Let's take a look at it again. And the concentration a wide receiver has to have. He didn't take his eyes off that ball for a second. He gets powdered right there by Wilson. But you better believe after all the years that Joyner has played, he knew he was going to get bonged. And still he tried to come up with the football.
And the ball bounced off of Wilson's shoulder pad, it looked like.
58-yard touchdown. Here's Benershka for the conversion as the Chargers move into the lead. San Diego moves back on top. They lead 10-7, and there's Charlie Joyner having another tremendous year after his best year ever a year ago. We'll be back. We had a shot of Jefferson who went 58 yards for the touchdown. Here is the man who took the shot from Steve Wilson. The ball deflected into the arms of Jefferson, and the Chargers are on top, 10-7. Benershka to kick off. Deep is James Jones. Benershka kicks it high, and it hangs forever. Jones from his 7-yard line. Out over the 25 to the 26-yard line, and a flag goes down. And we could have a clip. Preliminary indication. And it will be a clip, and it'll work against the Dallas Cowboys.
Charlie Joyner, and apparently a blow to the chin.
Little butterfly being applied there. He must have a little cut.
Personal foul, clipping, receiving team, half the distance to the goal line. First down.
They didn't need that penalty right there.
Well, we've got 10 minutes, 12 seconds left in the second quarter. An in again, out again game. Something like what we expected, and I'm sure a lot more scoring to come.
Jay Saldi in at tight end for the Cowboys with Billy Joe Dupree, the double tight end attack. Actually, Jay Saldi has caught more balls than Billy Joe Dupree coming into tonight's game. First and 10, the Dallas Cowboys have the ball at their 11-yard line. Reverse.
Oh, that's
Dupree.
a clip.
And Billy Joe out over the 15 to the 16, and the flags are down everywhere.
Yeah, that was old John Fitzgerald came out.
I think you could see that one.
Yeah.
Clipping again against the Cowboys. Consecutive clipping calls.
We got a guy down. I hope that's not Kelcher.
I think it's Wilbur Young. I hate to speculate, but I saw him for a moment there in the big number 99. He's being treated.
We mentioned, I think, at the top of the show, Kelcher's the guy that's coming off of the bad, and, you know, I see Louis down there. So.
Yeah, he's 74.
Yeah.
He is so huge, he's frightening.
Really is. All right, there's some words of wisdom over there. Thrill Hill's talking to the coach. He says, got to put that ball in the air, don't you think, Coach?
Personal foul, clipping, number 62, offense, still first down.
You're right, it was Fitzgerald.
Yeah, big Wilbur Young is on his feet. Wilbur Young goes about 290. 6'6". Comes off on his own locomotion. And the ball now has been moved back to the 6-yard line. Down remains the same. First and 15.
San Diego's developing a minor look of Hank Stram's past. Muncie, Wilbur Young.
The old offense of the 70s.
That's right, it lasted 1 year, 1970.
Now, you did not have to say that. Well, maybe he was ahead of his time.
He was.
First and 15. Ron Springs tries the right side. Louis Kelcher crawls all over him.
Oh, did he ever?
Loss of a yard.
Sir, another SMU boy right there.
Ooh, what a brute that is.
One of the ponies, and they're celebrating down here in SMU land. They knocked off Texas yesterday.
Glad you brought that up.
Our producer Bobby Goodrich, all aglow this morning at our production meeting.
First time they beat the Longhorns since 1966. Goodrich, of course, was the star of that game.
Second down, 16, the ball at the 5-yard line. Pearson and Hill, the wide receivers, both split to the left. Draw play, Newhouse. Newhouse out close to the 8-yard line. It'll be third down and 13. Louis Kelcher again on the stop as we look at Wilbur Young being treated on the sidelines.
Gosh, you just hate to see those knees are the ones that, you know, those things. That's what big Rush Washington had.
Oh, but
they tell me his was really a tough.
Yeah, just almost deformed. The whole kneecap moved totally over to one side.
Ooh.
But the surgery successful, and they anticipate he'll play again.
Clock moving. Inside 9 minutes remaining in the first half. Chargers leading the Cowboys 10-7. Third and long as Danny White slides into the shotgun. Wide, Woody Lowe. 6 points, and it comes the easy way as Woody Lowe takes it in.
Oh, what a bad mistake.
Yeah, Woody ran a great route. Man, he just hit it.
He was the only one open, I guess.
That was it.
Woody Lowe, the great one from the Crimson Tide of Alabama.
Let's see. Pretty good little pressure coming in from the outside. Leroy Jones, but there's right there, wide open, trying to get the ball out to his back.
Why take that risk? You can't give a team like the Chargers this kind of lead.
Chargers extend their lead.
That put a little quiet on the stadium.
There he is, Woody Lowe. 5th-round draft pick in '76. Came up the same year his counterpart on the other side, Ray Preston, came up. Starting linebackers, Preston and Woody Lowe. And they're good ones. Benershka, the man who came so near to death a year ago from Crohn's disease, drills it through the uprights. 17-7, the Chargers over the Cowboys. Strange game, a lot of points. We hope you're enjoying on a Sunday night ABC NFL special. We'll be back in a moment. Woody Lowe made the turnover, got into the end zone from 16 yards out on the interception. Benershka to kick off for San Diego. Jones is deep for the Cowboys. Benershka really hammers this one. Jones from the goal line. And Jones out to the 24-yard line where the Cowboys, all of a sudden down 17-7, will have possession. Ralph Benershka, we told you about his problems of a year ago. He had surgery just about this time a year ago. Got down from, 175 to about 120 pounds. He doesn't get interested in what happens, and we really can't blame him.
That's the protection against the aftermath of the surgery.
So you can see the pads and things that he's wearing to protect that, but you can't ever really be too safe.
We'll hear more about him and his struggle to return to this game at halftime. 1st and 10, Dallas. Ron Springs follows Tom Rafferty around the corner. And Springs out close to the 29-yard line, a gain of about 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Pete Shaw defensively for the Chargers up there, number 44.
And Louis Kelcher. Louis Kelcher is all over that field. They missed Tony Dorsett, too. No question about it. We've raved about Springs, but he's been moved into Tony's spot. Robert Newhouse been moved back to the fullback spot, and you just can't help but miss a speed back like Dorsett.
Wearing the flak jacket. That was the bulk around his midriff, but he did not practice, so he's not playing this far tonight. This is Newhouse on 2nd down and 6. Newhouse out to the 33-yard line, a gain of about 3. It'll be 3rd down and a long 2. Ray Preston defensively there for the Chargers.
One of the things Landry does by calling the plays, he certainly can control the emotional aspect. You'd think if he's thrown a pass, they'd get down. Tennessee could be for a quarterback. All right, I've got to get these points back in a hurry. And this is his game plan. He's been working on it. He's going to run it until they prove the game plan wrong.
Good point. I just wonder about the pass play he called on the intercept by Lowe.
He called it. He just didn't throw it.
Danny White did not like the play as it was designed on 3rd down and 2. Uses one of his timeouts. He'll have 2 remaining.
He just had some choice words for Ron Springs there, too.
So Danny White will move over and Visit with Tom Landry, who's in conference with Danny Reeves up in the press box.
Well, there was a tragedy in sports today. Victor Galindez, the former light heavyweight champion of the world, was killed in an auto race in De Mayo, Argentina. He and his co-driver abandoned their car and were killed when struck by another car in the pit. Victor, of course, became champion in December '74, lost the title to Mike Rossman in New Orleans September 15, 1978. Won it back from Rossman and then lost it for the last time November 30th, 1979. He was a great fighter, decent man, terrible tragedy.
Interesting call down in the field, delay of game. 3rd down and 6, and here comes Preston Pearson. And he's corralled there by Pete Shaw. That Preston Pearson gets up close to the 1st down at the 35-yard line.
This kid Shaw is a hitter. Pretty good, too, for a 5th-round draft choice. Pretty good pick. He's the guy who displaced Mike Fuller.
And Dallas gets the 1st down. Preston Pearson. And Preston Pearson, one of a couple of Cowboys who were not homegrown, came from the Pittsburgh Steelers a few years ago as a free agent, and he has really contributed to Dallas over these past few years. Actually came in '75. And in 5 years here with the Cowboys, he's been on the receiving end of 175 passes.
I guess they figured they couldn't grow them all. Pittsburgh is a good place to go get one.
They grew them rather well there.
That's it.
1st and 10. Wide open, and this is Timmy Newsome. Newsome gets the 1st down, steps out of bounds at the 48-yard line, stops the clock at 6:43 remaining in the half.
A little extra time to throw. That's what he had that time. That was a rather slow developing play. Newsome came out of the backfield, across the field.
Going back a moment, Don, we're told by the NFL that the 30-second clock had run before the timeout was called. That's why we had the delay of game penalty.
If I'd have known that, I wouldn't have said it was interesting.
It still is.
Ball at the 48-yard line. Trying to get the screen off, and there's a crowd gathered around Billy Joe Dupree. Reading the screen beautifully, and sliding out there defensively was Ray Preston, number 52 for the Chargers.
Brad Preston and Lowe, you mentioned it earlier, those two guys did come in together. Great friends, roommates, and they do play the linebacker position really well. That one was read all the way. No place to go. Billy Joe, this is the kind that you even hate to see him try to catch, because that tip-up, there's going to be another defensive back there pretty close. Can pick it off. Good coverage by Preston.
We mentioned ago, he came up that same year with Woody Lowe, who scored a few moments ago for the Chargers. Only Preston came up as an 11th-round draft pick.
One of the lads from Syracuse.
48-yard line. 2nd down and 10. Manny White being pursued by Dean. Dean misses, and White gets a 1st down to the 40-yard line. Leroy Jones finally makes a stop. But Danny White, risking life and limb, hurdles to the 40 for the 1st.
Looked like they were going to get him about 3 times. He just kept this one little half step ahead of him.
Now they mark it inside the 42, but that's still yardage enough for the 1st down.
It's critical for Dallas to get a score before the end of the half. So quickly, things turned against them. 2 touchdowns in rapid-fire order.
Out to the right comes Tony Hill, and out to the left is Drew Pearson. Ron Springs having a little problem out there tonight. And Drew Pearson is pounded, and now they say incomplete. Mike Williams, one of the fine defensive backs in football today, attacked Drew Pearson. Pass ruled incomplete.
You don't see Tom that angry that often, so I'd say the odds are pretty good he caught the ball.
No, I think the call was perfectly proper by the officials. This is a partisan crowd, and Landry's in a partisan position.
You mean you think Tom's pulling for the Cowboys?
I think, yes.
All right, let's see.
Watch him get hit and watch the ball.
Well, Ball did come out all right.
If it didn't, you've got a story, I'll tell you.
2nd and 10. Got a lot of angry folks down here right now. Danny White. Goes to Newsome. And Newsome attracts a crowd at the 33-yard line, short of the first down.
I'll tell you, that was a dangerous pass.
Pete Shaw almost had that one.
He almost did. You had another 7 points. But Danny, I must say, moved up beautifully when it appeared that he was going to be sacked.
Had good secondary coverage. The linebacker's got a good drop.
Watch this,
They look
right
for the
there.
pass. That's the good move you're talking about. Look at Shaw, number 44, almost on time. A step away.
It's not much noted around the league, but San Diego is second in their conference in pass defense. You don't throw against them easily. They get a good pass rush from Fred Dean, Jones, Johnson. 3rd down and 2. Ball at the 33-yard line. 4:50 and the clock is moving. And
I can't believe that.
I don't know what's going on.
Cowboys. They call another timeout, and Danny will move over to the sidelines.
They're down to 1 timeout.
I think it could be, if I might try and explain it, the Cowboys are shuffling running backs in and out. They have a very complex offensive system. If they don't get the right combination in there to run the play that is sent in, well, Danny's just not going to try and run it.
That plus Ron Springs is really playing a new position. He's been playing fullback most all year with Dorsett in there.
That's all true, but they can't afford it. What they're doing is self-defeating.
You're right. It is a mistake. I think what Frank's talking about is that sometimes, there's sometimes better reasons for mistakes than others, but they may have a better reason tonight than ordinarily. There's old Chuck. Chuck Muncie.
He's got it, too, I'll tell you.
He's happy. He left a team that's now 0-8 for a team that has a reasonable chance to get to the Super Bowl. In fact, a very good chance.
Landry again on the phones. Danny Reeves in a press box right near us.
Danny Reeves was the guy, Frank, as we know, started out the season, and he was going to call the plays, and Tom was just going to work on defense. And talking to Danny in preseason, he said, yeah, it might last through the preseason. And it did. It lasted just through the preseason. Now Tom's called him again.
I think what Danny was complaining about, he said, you send the play in, but you don't have the right personnel in here to run the play.
You know what else happens sometimes, too? They have so many formations. A lot of times he'll send plays in, and he'll give the runner the formation. And then White says, wait a minute, we don't run that play from this formation. It does get confusing.
Well, we've got it all sorted out.
Yes, sir.
Cowboys now with 1 timeout. 3rd down and 2. Once again, the ball at the 33-yard line of the Chargers, and the Cowboys are down 17-7. They need something here in the first half. Danny White. Billy Joe Dupree, and Billy Joe has the first down at the 17-yard line.
The same play we mentioned earlier that's been in the playbook since 1960. If that back is not open, which he wasn't, the linebacker blocked him coming out, then the drag man coming across is the tight end. You'll see Newsome trying to get out. He can't get open. He's covered, so he looks back into that tight end coming across the middle, and there's Billy Joe Dupree.
Billy Joe had 2 steps on Woody Lowe. It was Lowe finally made the tackle. But Dallas is doing what they have to do. They're down to 4 minutes, 10 seconds left in the half. They're down to 1 timeout, but they must get some points on the board.
1st and 10. Ball at the 17-yard line, and Danny White quickly turns around and tells Springs, you're in the wrong place again. Springs breaks loose from one tackle, rather Timmy Newsome, the ball carrier. And they are having trouble getting lined up in the right place.
Well, again, you got another. Timmy Newsome is a rookie, and he has not played much at all this year. So there is some confusion back there.
Well, his namesake, Ozzie Newsome, was brilliant today. He made the catch from sight that beat the Steelers 27-26.
Brian Sight, who played for Don Coryell. He likes to put the ball in the air.
Oh.
We'll be up there a week from this Monday. I'm looking. That's going to we'll have a good game there. The Bears come to Cleveland.
2nd and 10. Danny White fires deep in the end zone. Oh, and Billy Joe Dupree does not hold on. It would have been 6.
Well, there I felt he had an excuse. He had trouble keeping his balance. He temporarily lost vision on the ball, and that's why he dropped it.
I think that the Chargers are saying that Billy Joe interfered with them down in the end zone. Nobody was open. You see those big guys coming at you. You're going to throw it down there deep. Yeah. Let's see what we can find out. Billy Joe does have good hands. He's got them up there. You'd certainly expect him to catch that one.
Should have called for a fair catch.
Yeah.
That's how difficult it was.
And he was falling backwards as the ball was coming to him in flight.
3rd and 10 out of the shotgun. Danny White wide open in the end zone. And Butch Johnson takes a touchdown, Dallas.
I tell you, Frank, I love that kid, Butch Johnson. They got to find more playing time for that man.
Good move by Danny White there again, moving up out of the, see a little pressure coming to the outside. The 3 wide receiver offense moves up, and at the last moment, zip. He almost went over the line of scrimmage. I think saw Johnson late. It opened up in the end zone, touchdown. They did need that touchdown to get back in the ball game.
And they're back in it. Raphael Septian. Septian puts it through the uprights. Whistles were blowing. Flags were flying before the snap.
Ball start, number 78, offense.
Ball start by the Dallas Cowboys. Number 78, of course, John Dutton.
There's Butch Johnson.
Good going, Butch.
You mentioned, Howard, he was ready really to challenge for a starting job a year ago, the 79 season, and he broke the little finger on his hand, and he missed 5 games. And he had a tremendous preseason in 79, and he had a good shot to get in there. And then, of course, he missed 5, and Drew Pearson and Tony Hill came along, both of them 1,000-yard seasons. How can you replace them? Septian following the penalty. Bears down, gets it through the uprights, and the Cowboys now trail by 3 points. We have 2:57 remaining here in the first half. We'll be back in a moment. Only 17 yards, but Danny White made it look easy. In trouble. Bounced out of the pocket. Found Butch Johnson. The Cowboys are down by 3. Raphael Septian to kick off. Chuck Muncie deep. This will be a short kick.
He missed that ball.
And out of bounds, and that will move it back 5 yards, and we'll do it all over again. Raphael Septian.
He kicked his kicking tee about 7 yards, so I'd say he may have dipped a little bit too deep to get that one.
Out of bounds, and no Charger touched it, so they'll mark about 5 yards, and Septian will kick at the 30-yard line.
Well, this is
Been slowing this game
in
down.
terms of time consumed, and the number of penalties involved thus far has something to do with that. Number of times the ball has been put in the air also has something to do with it.
And Dallas not being able to line up right on 3rd and short a couple of times has something else to do with it. They've just used a couple of timeouts. Boy, we've got a lot of answers tonight.
Chuck Muncie, he did not return kickoffs for New Orleans a year ago.
Well, he was supposed to, but he kept missing those meetings.
That's one way to get to San Diego.
That's it.
Septian will hit it again from the 30-yard line. We'll watch him from the end zone. Muncie collects it at the 15-yard line. And Muncie is collected at the 36-yard line by James Jones.
I didn't like the way he was holding that football.
He carries it that way, and he's not a fumbler either. Sort of like a Jim Brown. Remember how he used to carry with that one big hand? He just
Well, whatever Jim
balance
Brown did, he did it right. The record proves that.
All right, getting close to that 2-minute thing.
Pretty close ratio between passing and rushing plays for the Chargers, but even more interesting, the Chargers have had only 3 offensive plays this entire quarter.
Charlie Joyner, by the way, is back in the ball game, wide receiver now for the Chargers. Motion man, Mike Thomas. Fouts will put it in the air. Jefferson. Close to a first down out near the 47-yard line, hit by Aaron Mitchell, and that's an understatement when you speak of Mitchell, the right cornerback, number 34 for the Cowboys. He will lay it on you.
Frank, that's extraordinary that before that play they had the ball for only 3 plays the whole quarter.
And Dallas had it for a lot of plays, didn't they?
They sure did. San Diego's had the ball for only 1:45 seconds of this quarter with 2:14 left.
And they lead on two strange plays, an interception and a deflection. 17-14. Fouts. Winslow's pattern. And Kellen Winslow hammers his way down to close to the 32-yard line. The big second-year man from Missouri as time expires, and we get the 2-minute warning. Both teams regroup, and we'll be back in Texas Stadium here in Irving, Texas, right after this message from the National Football League. That announcement brought to you by Randy Hughes, former All-Pro safety for the Dallas Cowboys in the National Football League. And what a night Jefferson is having, the leading receiver in the AFC coming into tonight's game. As a matter of fact, the Chargers have 3 in the top 5, 3 in the top 4, if you will. Kellen Winslow is in second place before tonight, and Charlie Joyner was in 4th place. 1st and 10. Ball at the 33-yard line of the Cowboys. Fouts on top. And just off the fingertips of Mike Thomas.
Tell you, had that ball been perfectly thrown,
that was 6.
Forget it. Forget it.
He had it.
This team can kill you with the quickness of their strike. A couple of minutes ago before the 2-minute warning.
San Diego is going to be marked off against. The referee Dick Jurgensen discussing the penalty with the Cowboys.
Now they'll move him out of.
Holding, number 67, offense, still first down.
Ed White having a big night for the Chargers at right guard.
That's 3 we can remember being called on him.
Ball all the way back to the 43-yard line. Down remains the same. First down 20, 1:56. Remaining in the first half. Cowboys coming with the blitz. Fouts tries to go to Jefferson, and Aaron Mitchell was right there.
That last penalty was a killer. Probably took them out of field goal range. Les Fouts can pull a miracle here on 3rd down. What I was going to say, Frank, is just before the 2-minute warning, the fans saw Kellen Winslow on a beautifully sophisticated pattern crash ahead, and one thought instantly, this kid's cutting the mold of Casper, Francis, and Billy Joe.
He was off in a spectacular year as a rookie a year ago when he cracked a bone in his leg in the 7th game and missed the remainder of the season. He picked up where he left off a year ago. Kellen Winslow. 2nd and 20. Fouts. Joyner.
Is that
First down inside the Dallas 10-yard line.
Oh, that's a pretty pass. I love the
All right. I used the phrase a beautifully sophisticated pattern. Will you explain? First, look at it again, Don, and then explain what I mean.
It's a beautifully sophisticated pattern in this. He's got Joyner coming out, going right down the middle. He's cleared the middle out with the other receivers, sending them to the outside. Left him all that room to run in there. Almost impossible to cover a guy like that, but the ball was thrown right on the money. He was covered pretty well.
And kudos to Billy Shields, number 66, left tackle for the Chargers. He's doing quite a job on Harvey Martin. Harvey Martin getting up there, but Shields drops back and then takes Harvey Martin with his own momentum to the outside. Fouts steps up, and he has time to deliver the ball.
Gee, when you've got that ability for the quick strike, tremendous asset.
Don Coryell, now in his 3rd year, took over in 78 after 4 games, and the remainder of 78 went 8-4. But I'll tell you, when he was a collegiate coach, he believed in the same things he believes in now. At 3 years at Whittier and 12 years at San Diego State, he won 127 games, lost 24.
Well, I like what Gene Klein, the principal owner of the Chargers, said the other day. Said, let's face it, I was a fool. I never should have let him go to St. Louis. I should have hired him right out of there myself.
Hey, he drove the Cowboys crazy at St. Louis. He won the division there a couple of years, 74 and 75. First down, goal to go. Jefferson in motion. Winslow, touchdown, and the Chargers.
They are top.
In the lead, and Kellen Winslow, we were talking to you a moment ago. He's 6'6", 250 pounds, and he has remarkable quickness.
Oh, that was really a pretty drive there.
Oh, how fast.
I thought he was going to come back to Jefferson because Jefferson had the secondary screwed up. He was going all the way to Winslow. Charlie Waters got there a little bit too late. Winslow Came from his tight end position, was wide open. He had to have 5 guys in the pattern. Somebody's going to be open. All he's got to have is a little time to throw.
Benershka drills it. And the Cowboys go out on top. 24-14, and don't go to the fridge yet. 1:37 remaining in the half, and the Cowboys are going to get the football. I set the Cowboys on top. Chargers on top, 24-14.
It happens, Frank.
Well, maybe you went to the fridge. Winslow, second-year man out of Missouri, made it look so easy.
Oh, what a player. There in the standings, a reminder again, the NFC East. Dallas needing this game to remain but one back of the high-flying Philadelphia Eagles. Dick Vermeil led. They have a way of winning. And there are the standings of the AFC West. Oakland suddenly charging up, threatening. San Diego needs this game to remain a game ahead of the Raiders.
Benershka. What does he hit those kickoffs high? Jones. And Jones out over the 30-yard line, where Dallas will have a minute and 32 seconds and 2 timeouts in which to operate.
That's Kellen Winslow, the young man from the University of Missouri. And what a player.
23 years old. My
2
God.
years in a row. In the National Football League, they have drafted tight ends #1 from the Big 8. There's another beauty this year, a kid with the Falcons who upset the Rams today. His name, Junior Miller. He went to Nebraska.
Danny White out of the shotgun. We've been told they were not charged with the timeout when they were penalized earlier here in the second quarter. So the Cowboys have 2 timeouts, and contact was made. It could have been that a Cowboy had drawn the Chargers off, and that is the call.
What happened?
Procedure. So it'll be 1st and 15. Ball marked off to the 26.
Number 68, offense, still first down.
Herb Scott, left guard. Cowboys, false start.
Conference pride is at stake in this game, too. After this afternoon's activity, the AFC leads the NFC 17 victories to 6.
Dallas in their series with AFC teams, overwhelming victories. Preston Pearson behind the screen. Quick move to the outside. After he picks up the first down, he gets out around the 41-yard line, upended by Louis Kelcher, the big man in pursuit. Seconds ticking away as Dallas gets their offense. Well, they marked it inside the 41, so it'll be 2nd and short now as we approach the 1-minute mark. Oh. Incomplete. It was intended for Drew Pearson. He was hit by Willie Buchanan, could not hold on. It'll be 3rd down and short yardage back at the 41.
Interesting case history, Buchanan, in this league. Remember, a #1 draft choice for Green Bay. Scintillated for a couple of years. Then they figured he was washed up, moved around, winds up with San Diego. In fact, had a bad year last year. But this year seems to be playing in the gradings of the coaches very well.
It is unusual how a guy can go, but that's in such a key position, though. You're out there all alone, and you can have those really good years, and then all of a sudden it can go sour on you. It's not too often that they come back and put the good ones after they've had those bad ones.
3rd down, less than a yard. White.
Nice money.
Jones, first down, right at midfield.
Good throw right there.
56 seconds on the scoreboard clock. Cowboys with 2 timeouts.
Best defensive back I ever saw was raised by Steve Owen. It was Frank Gifford.
He could cover him, couldn't he?
Did you cover football then?
I
Way
used
back
to
there.
live at Yankee Stadium.
Well, I was in the Polo Grounds.
I was there. Remember the mud game in '55 against the Chicago Cardinals?
There's no
The
way I
then
can get
Chicago Cardinals.
I would say I remember it, but then you would detail it. 1st and 10, Cowboys midfield. And Fred literally took the ball away from Danny White. And he gets it back.
We would have had another one of those San Diego touchdowns.
I thought he had it. However, I think Dean did too. He started running. White held on to it. Oh, boy.
Hurry-up offense, the seconds ticking off. 45 seconds, the clock is moving. Take a quick look on the replay. But meanwhile, live action on the field.
Come on, Danny, just start it for me.
Billy Joe Dupree. He drops the football. And I believe a Charger has it.
Oh.
San Diego comes up with it.
They got time for another field goal.
Billy Joe Dupree at midfield bobbled the football. And the Chargers get it at the 41-yard line.
With Fouts, who knows? Another touchdown.
Oh,
this is getting like last Monday night's
Pete
game.
Shaw comes up with the football for San Diego.
They sure been bumping and fumbling around out here this first half. Billy Joe catches this one.
Ray Preston put the hit on Billy
yes,
Joe.
he did.
Preston Pearson misses. Shaw just waits till it pops out, and he gets the ball for San Diego. They're inside the 41-yard line of the Cowboys. 27 seconds remaining in the half. Chargers with 2 timeouts. Kellen Winslow, that's what you can do with this big man. You can split him out wide. He becomes like a wide receiver, even as big as he is. Another Charger first down, which is almost academic with 21 seconds remaining in the half.
Yeah, the Cowboys are going to be in a lot of trouble
If there's another
touchdown here. 24-14 is going to be testing them to come back. But you put a 31 up there, you got some problem.
1 timeout now for Dan Fouts, conferring there with Don Coryell. Fouts' touchdown pass to Winslow a few moments ago was his 100th career touchdown pass, and he is only in his 8th year. It's just remarkable. What a great joining of philosophies. Fouts, who loves to throw the ball, and Coryell, who likes to watch him.
Yeah, I think it's...
That's very well put.
It is. I haven't seen a quarterback yet who doesn't love to throw. I think he just happened to bump into Coryell, who happened to agree with it. Most coaches say, no, you run. You got to run to set up that path.
1 timeout remaining for San Diego. Joyner right, Jefferson left. He hangs it up. It'll be a battle for it. Easy one as Jefferson ran right by Steve Wilson, who was back there trying to cover him. Fouts misdirected, incomplete.
That's true. It was misdirected. Had it been properly directed, it was an easy touchdown.
He had a lot of folks look at him right eyeball to eyeball wearing white jerseys that time. He got some pressure, did throw it up. But Jefferson put some moves on Mitchell back there. He left him pretty well tied up.
Bernerski's ready.
2nd down 10, 16 seconds on the clock. Joyner goes right, Jefferson left. Let's try it again.
That had to slip, didn't it?
Alley-oop as San Diego looking for either the completion or pass interference.
10 seconds left.
3rd and 10.
Listen, I saw a team at 3rd and 48 today with less than 2 minutes left. They not only made the 48, they made a touchdown.
Let me guess who that was. Is it a team down south?
It sure is.
Wasn't New Orleans, was it?
No.
Don't give me any clues. Red jerseys?
Yes.
The Falcons.
Of course.
I saw that.
Wasn't that unbelievable?
Yeah.
3rd and 48, and Bodkowski hits Alfred Jackson.
10 seconds on the clock. 3rd down 10. Muncie gets the call right side. Looking for field goal position is San Diego.
Didn't get out of bounds.
Pounded. They can stop it with their 1 remaining timeout, which they do with 3 seconds, and we'll see Ralph Benershka.
I'm not sure I understand that.
I don't either, as a matter of fact. He's throwing the ball. Oh, well, he wanted to go for that field goal, I assume.
Ralph Benershka with Mike Fuller holding. Mike Fuller has been known to play some tricks as a holder. By the way, you mentioned that game, Bartkowski to Alfred Jackson, winning touchdown, last minute of the game over the Rams. We'll be showing you some of the highlights from today's action and a compelling, interesting piece concerning this man, Ralph Benershka, who is attempting another 45-yard kick. He's already hit from 45 tonight. This time he's off to the right. Time has expired here in the first half. Back and forth. Strange game on a long Sunday night. of football. Chargers over the Cowboys 24-14. We'll be ready for our halftime features after this message and a word from our local stations. Here in Dallas at halftime, we expected a lot of points. We did not expect they would come the way they did. Picking up the action, Dallas leading 7-3 here in the second quarter. Fouts fires over the middle. Charlie Joyner is hit there hard by Steve Wilson. The ball right into the hands of John Jefferson, and John Jefferson collects it and moves 58 yards, and that put San Diego out on top, 10-7. A little later on, Danny White operating near his own end zone, looking for a receiver downfield, looking for Jones. Stepping in front of it is Woody Lowe, number 51, and Woody Lowe one hands it, pops it in the air, takes it and moves 16 yards for another San Diego touchdown. San Diego on top 17-7. Dallas came right back out of the shotgun. Watch Danny White. He gets in trouble. All his receivers covered. Steps back into the pocket. Finds Butch Johnson just before he crosses the line of scrimmage. Drills it into Butch, and Dallas came back. Now trailing only by 3. But San Diego closed out the scoring. The big tight end, Kellen Winslow, number 80, out of Missouri. 6'6", 250-pounder. They can move him out. He can actually play wide receiver if they so desire. Keep your eyes on number 80, Kellen Winslow. He is going to be a great one. And there, of course, Ralph Bernushka. You saw the story of Ralph Bernushka starting last year. Kicked 4 consecutive field goals against Oakland. And then, of course, you saw the rest of the story, a very compelling story. And so often, such humanity wrapped up in the cloak of an athletic uniform, certainly in the case of Ralph Bernushka. Set to go now. Bernushka will kick off. Jones is deep for the Dallas Cowboys. And again, Bernushka with that high kick that takes a lot of time. He gets his special team downfield, and here comes Jones. And Jones bobbles the ball as he is taken at the 44, and they're going to blow it dead at the 44. Pete Shaw defensively there attacked Jones. The ball came loose, but they say he was down at the 44-yard line. And again, we'll anticipate many changes in the offensive backfield for the Dallas Cowboys. Ron Springs, number 20, and Robert Newhouse, number 44, come in as setbacks. We will also see a lot of Timmy Newsome, a rookie from Winston-Salem, number 30, and James Jones. Danny White, 13 of 20 thus far in the evening. And 1 interception, return for a touchdown. Drew Pearson in motion. Ron Springs turns the corner.
Out around.
And Springs out of bounds, 45-yard line. First down, Dallas at the 45 of San Diego.
Well, that kid, Jimmy Jones, the rookie from Mississippi State, with that kickoff return, did exactly what Dallas needed immediately to get him back in the contest. Brilliant run back, superb field position, and now, instantly, Dallas in San Diego territory. This game will have its ups and downs till the final whistle.
Dupre, the tight end, comes out. In comes Butch Johnson, number 86. So we basically have the 3 wide receiver offense for Dallas. Johnson, Hill, and Pearson, the receivers. Drew Pearson in motion. Danny White gets the screen off to Springs.
Good play.
And Springs just lowers his head and bowls to the 33-yard line. Another Dallas first down. Mike Fuller made the stop.
Really a terrific play. Has a one-man screen set up to the outside. You'll see got big Herb Scott that comes out there. A lot of razzle-dazzle going on. Had Butch Johnson in motion, throwing back to the outside. Here's Springs to the outside. Good block by Herb Scott. Little quick screen. That great percentage of completion. Try to get something going. What you don't want, of course, you got this kind of field position. Move it down there. Don't try to go too deep too early.
Just short of the 33-yard line. First and 10. Billy Joe Dupree comes back in. The tight end, number 89. Springs again.
Good.
And
block.
again he gets to the outside. Drew Pearson with a little peck block downfield. Age Springs to another Dallas first down. Bob Horn, 55. Ray Preston, 52. And on the stop. And Ron Springs, whom Don mentioned, did not have that kind of a year as a senior at Ohio State. But Gil Brandt, the personnel man for the Cowboys, keeps track of them all. And he can tell you about Ron Springs when he was the junior college player of the year at Coffeyville, Kansas. In 1 year, he gained 1,800 yards and scored 25 touchdowns there before he went on to Ohio State.
It's amazing. 3 plays, 3 first downs.
He must have done something good at halftime.
Really?
Saldi is the tight end now, number 87.
Look at that moving pocket, would you?
Back to Saldi. The screen in front of it. Saldi to the 10-yard line, another first down.
This is a remarkable drive. 4 plays, 4 first downs. Saldi, another underused one. Well, where do you play him if you got Dupree and you're not using a steady 2 tight end offense?
Look at that Irish connection. All move out with Danny White to set up this screen back across to Saldi. We've seen really 3 unusual plays for Dallas. They're not the old grind them out sort of run play. They say, we got to open this thing up. Maybe we can beat them at their own game. We got to throw this ball, open it up.
Saldi's closest friend on the team is the other underused one, Butch Johnson.
Danny White has now used 8 different receivers on the night. First down, close to the 10-yard line.
Oh, no.
No, they didn't plan that one.
No
way that was planned. As Saldi ambles to the 2-yard line, that ball just dribbled into his hands.
Don't you love
Danny
it?
White dropped it.
You will never see a single game with more plays that are unique.
The Rafferty did it earlier.
And Donovan.
And that ball could not have done it any
And
better.
then the...
I'll tell you, what a great offensive coach.
You know if
That's what
somebody's
Jay
going to be at the
looks
right place at the right time, it's that man behind those shades.
It's unbelievable. Then you had to play from Joyner to Jefferson.
It was all slow motion for Saldi.
That's right.
Tom doesn't believe it.
Second down. Inside handoff up into the Springs at the 1.
They scored on that play earlier. This time San Diego says, I remember that. You guys did that to me the last time you were down here.
3 tight ends are in as we move to third down. The ball at the 1.
I can't believe that Saldi play. That's unreal.
I don't believe this whole game. Never have there been, or at least not within my memory, so many unique plays.
As you weren't with us in the first half, San Diego scored on a pass that bounded off Joyner's shoulder pads into the arms of John Jefferson. He went 58 yards for a touchdown. It's been that kind of a night. Cowboys down 24-14. Third down, a little more than 1 to go. This is Newsome. Newsome into the end zone, and Dallas roars right back. Timmy Newsome, the rookie, 6th-round draft pick out of Winston-Salem. He's having himself a night. His first NFL career touchdown coming in tonight. He only carried the ball 2 times on the season for a net of 6 yards, but he's been active tonight.
We said at the beginning of the contest we thought this was about as good a matchup as you could get in the league, and that's the way it's proving out.
Rafael Septian will attempt to bring the Cowboys to within 3 points. And he promptly does so. So Dallas uses a little more than 4 minutes as they move, taking the opening kickoff here in the second half to bring it to within 3.
Announcing.
An interesting trip, that particular drive. Jones fumbled the kickoff. They ruled he was down. The ball bounces into Saldi's hands.
Couple of unusual screen plays that paid off for him, too.
Septian. This time he puts a big foot into it. Muncie takes it inside the end zone. He'll bring it out.
Whoa!
And Muncie is drilled at the 22-yard line. Jones made the stop.
Man.
You talk about clotheslining a guy. Woo.
That's why Muncie didn't return kicks down in New Orleans. He said, what was that?